Marta, how has AI impacted quality management?
I think that very much. For the past 5 years, we moved from teams and organizations providing feedback saying, look, this sounds like a machine translation, and that was perceived as negative. Now everyone wants to do and generate content with AI. So quality now is at the center when putting together strategies. If you have a need to generate content with AI. So the way it has impacted is that now we had to evolve the way we were, on the one hand, putting together the models to evaluate quality, because of course AI has some specific pitfalls that human localization or even machine translation localization does not. And two, as well, to move the definition of quality towards not a more general, broad definition of it, but actually purpose-based.
Thank you for sharing those insights. And do you think it is possible to disentangle product and user experience from localization?
It is, but it should not. And the reason why I'm saying that is because that depends on which product you have and the image you are trying to build with that product, right? And the offer to the user based on the full experience of that product. I think that you may take 3 different brands or companies with different levels of localization based on what they are trying to achieve. Are they trying to localize just to get more users? Are you trying to localize to get your users a relevant cultural experience? And depending on those levels, that's when you may decide to include the user experience. I would say that in general, it should not be separated, because you also want to evaluate how successful you are, not just as a business, but from a localization experience on how relevant that is for your user. If your user can have the full journey without realizing that there is a blocker from a language perspective, that's also one of the parameters for success localization practices.
That's a really interesting way to look at it. Thank you for sharing that. And how can we measure the impact of changes in the translation on quality of experience if we don't disentangle these concepts?
That's a very good question. Again, I think that it's going to be very important to define what that success looks like, what's going to be our definitions of quality, but also trying to understand what are the tools that are available to us, especially to localization organizations. We understand that not all teams may have access to that user information. So there might be like different ways for us to actually get more data, like from user research, external or internal teams, even just like with a simple thumbs up, thumbs down, as it was seen, like, for example, like Google, back at the beginning of Google Translate, you have this thumbs up, thumbs down that was part on trying to understand how successful that was. So there are many ways to measure the user experience, not just by the clicks or just the number of sales, but actually by collecting a specific brand or language information through those different exercises. And that should be part of metrics and KPIs linked to localization.